take the field for your pregame entertainment. They are led on the field by drum majors Haley Bowden, Maria Beautiful, and Emma Lowe. At this time, we would like to recognize all the members of the 2022 Lakota Homecoming Court. These students were voted at large and nominated by their clubs. This group truly represents the Thunderhawk family. Please welcome to the field from the freshman class, Luke Shaw. Also from the freshman class, Devendra Wong. Also, Shayla McKay. Lastly, from the freshman class, Aiden Rolfs. From the knitting club, Sophia Anagosto. With the sophomore class, Jessa Bush. With the women in science and engineering, please welcome Audrey Charles. With the sophomore class, Sean Dickerson. And the French club, Gwen Gilbert. From the sophomore class, Cy Hines. With the student government, Jalen Holder. Also with the sophomore class, Miles Metz. And the French club, Andrea Portillo. With the junior class, Adam Abdahalim. With the bracelet making club, Ali Ackerman. With the enemy club, Jasmine Ashford. Representing Relay for Life, Addie Bauer. With junior class and Spark, please welcome Esri Kopi. Also with the junior class and Spark, we have Blake Harnish. With the junior class, Gabriel Gambetta. Representing the art club, Hannah Hamilton. Also with the bracelet making club, Emma Hoover. With the Leaf Club and Kim. HOSA Biomed, Chloe Kime. With the Hawk Ambassadors, Ethan Comiskey. With Relay of Christian Athletes and Relay for Life, Victoria Nelms. With Hope Squad, Sydney Holing. Also with the Leaf Club, Madison Rice. Representing Women in Science and Engineering, Asma Raha. With the Enemy Club, Delaney Reneker. With the Science Olympiad and Engineering Club, Tasha Shankaromi. With the Art Club, Jazz Williams. With the Science Olympiad, Jeffrey Zhu. With Mu Alpha Theta, Saba Alshank. With SOAR, Braden Dunn. The Latin Club, Teresa Chow. With the Senior Board, Karina Hope. With the Hope Squad, Kira Banjai. With SOAR, Brianna Brady. Representing the Junior Board Prom Committee, Avery Davis. And the Senior Class, Ethan Evans. The Drama Club, Maddie Gardner. The Black Student Union, Noor Hamadullah. Letters to Rose, Kiera Hawks. The Junior Board Prom Committee, Laney Hill. HOSA Sports Med, Sam Hodel. The American Sign Language Club, Riley Johnson. Mock Trial, Marin Jones. The National Honor Society, Noah Keith. The Veterans Network Club, Elliot Keith. HOSA Biomed, Zoa Khan. College Information and Readiness, Kiera King. And the Astronomy Club, Angeline Kiss. The Junior State of America, Jal Kawan. The Senior Board, Anna Lacametto. The Latin Club, Ellie Leininger. The National Honor Society, Andy Matting. Student Government, Anna Mahaffey. The Spanish Club, Julissa Munoz. Junior State of America, Lauren Polyak. College Information and Readiness, Natalie Kahn. The Engineering Club, Will Price. The Senior Class, Emily Raven. The Black Student Union and American Sign Language Club, Angelica Spangler. The Senior Class and Drama Club, Caitlin Spalding. Letters to Rose, Emily Taylor. HOSA Sports Med, Abby Theobald. The Senior Class and Veterans Network Club, Ryan Thomas. Mock Trial, Noah Troutman. The Astronomy Club, David Wright. And representing Yearbook, please welcome Jacqueline Mosley. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a collective round of applause for our homecoming class for 2022. Thank you for representing Lakota High School. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country with freedoms like no other. To honor America and those who have courageously served, we invite you to stand, remove your caps, as the veterans of foreign wars Post 7696 and the American Legion Post 681. And now, please remain standing for the Lakota East alma mater of Lakota East. Thunderhawks are under the direction of Rob Hannes and Andrew Desmond, with tremendous support from the Army Volunteers of the Lakota East Upbeat Club. How about another round of applause for our marching Thunderhawks? Board of Education Superintendent, Principal, and Athletic Director of Lakota East High School extend to each of you cordial welcome. We are pleased that you are here for tonight's contest. Lakota East High School and Mason High School, members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and abide by the high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. The athletes
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks. Tonight we have in the Hawk Nest another conference crosstown shootout between Lakota East and the Mason Comets. So from Liberty Township to Mason, Ohio, this is the place to be right here tonight. I'm Dave Royce with my partner in the booth, Ken Yablonsky. And Ken, had a little different start tonight as we are celebrating homecoming. Had the homecoming large court here before the game.
Yeah, Dave, if viewers out there are just tuning in, they can start streaming. They can see their representative. We had all the clubs that this fine high school has to offer represented by one or two athletes, as well as the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior class. We had the band play the fight song, and we are ready for some football. We've got quite a matchup here between Lakota East and Mason.
Yeah, Ken, I'm looking here over the thing for the homecoming court. Like you said, all classes were represented, clubs from French clubs to art clubs to Fellowship of Christian Athlete clubs to science, Hope Squads, SOAR. I mean, the list goes on and on. Mock Trial, Black Student Union, Yearbook. I mean, National Honor Society. I mean, every club here tonight, I think, was represented. All the classes were represented. I think it was a total of about 77 people in the court, largest court I've ever seen. But the big thing for the kids here, it's a Hawaiian night down in the student section. So they have homecoming tomorrow night. This is the homecoming game, and we're ready to talk some football, Ken, as as we're getting ready to start here. Two teams, records don't look the same, but they've played some of the same teams. So what do you think we're going to see here tonight between these two matchups between the Hawks and the Comets?
Yeah, Hawks are coming in with a 2-2 record, winning their last two games against Hamilton and Middletown on the road. They had such a tough start to the season, having to play Lakota West and Princeton, two of the best teams around this area, if not the state. So that was a true test. They had to regroup themselves, which they did against Middletown with a 10-7 victory, blocking a field goal at the end of the game. I'm sorry, 17-14
Yep.
game. Hamilton last week, 2 passing touchdowns for the Hawks. Troutman to Reap. So that was great to see. Mason, on the other hand, a couple blowouts, Oak Hills and Coleraine, and then barely squeaked by Middletown last week, 10-7. So they've won 4 in a row. They're 4-1 on the season, opening loss to Lincoln. So both teams kind of on a hot streak here.
Yeah, that score there at Middletown, 14-13. You were right on it, though, with a big block at the end. I'm with you, Ken. You know, East is 2-2 in the conference, overall 2-3 on that 2-game win streak. Mason 4-0, 4-1 overall. They're on a 4-game win streak, but they haven't seen the likes of West, Princeton, as you pointed out, yet. So you got to throw those 2 games out, kind of look at what both teams did against Middletown and Hamilton, and I think we got a pretty close matchup tonight as the Hawks come walking out in the locker room and running out into the field, into the end zone to do their traditional rock right, rock left before they get their escort by the student body flag corps here as they come up the middle of the field. And there's your East banners being carried by the students in the Hawaiian garb.
It looks like East is more fired up than we've seen them in recent weeks. When you play Mason, you got to get hyped up because the Mason-Lakota East rivalry is always a great rivalry here.
Hey.
These teams met in the playoffs 2019, I believe it was, and had quite a game. Came down to the wire there.
Absolutely. That was over at Mason. I was over there watching that. You're right, it came right down to the wire, but can't agree with you more, Ken. We started this season with the internal crosstown shootout of East-West. This is the external crosstown shootout just down the road, Mason. And so, if you can't get up for this game, I agree with you. The boys look a little bit fired up, and, sometimes winning is contagious. And when you got a few wins under your belt, things feel a lot better when you're coming out of the locker room.
Absolutely. East still a little banged up. They're not as deep as they'd like to be here. They do have quarterback Aiden Troutman back healthy. Eric Davis here healthy. Didn't get an injury report from Mason, but Hawks have a couple of their leaders out, but not as banged up as they've been in recent weeks.
Yeah, I think there the other night, our last broadcast, we started with about 8 seniors hurt, and we got 1 hurt in that game. We were down to 9. A couple of guys returned. I can see the wounded walking out of the locker room now with crutches and arms and slings down there as they come out on the field and root their teammates on. And as we were talking about, and I think in our last broadcast, these are seniors, guys that are hurt, and they can still provide a lot to these younger classmen on the sidelines, rooting them on, giving them cues of what's going on as they've got the playing time that some of these younger guys don't have. And, before we get started here, I'm just going to give a shout out to Eric Davis as the Hawks are going to get the ball here. Actually, I'll hold that since they're going to get the ball here. So we are ready for kickoff. The weather couldn't be any better. It's a nice, cool, crisp night, and the Comets kick it off. Looks like it's going to go down to about the 10-yard line. received, I think that's by Andy Vogelman. He's going to take it up the left-hand side, and he's going to get to about the 25-yard line, and that's where the Hawks are going to start. So I'm going to go back, Ken, to Eric Davis. He has just been bringing it, right? I believe he's number 2 in the GMC. He's got 533 total yards, and Eric, every week, even in the losing games, has been doing more than his part for the Lakota Thunderhawks.
Yeah, 119 carries for 533 yards. So that's just workhorse mentality. You know, that's grinding, that's keeping your feet moving, and that's taking a lot of hits. So when you carry the ball that many times, you're going to get hit quite a few times. And to take that licking and keep on ticking is the way to go.
Yeah,
so
he is
Troutman's
definitely
going to hand off to Davis to start the game.
He's definitely pulling the sled, and number 55 found his number really, really fast as the Comets take Davis down.
Yeah, 55, Bryce Falk.
So as you mentioned, Troutman back underneath the center. He came in last week, was his first game back, and mostly a ground game last week, since we're just talking about Eric.
Yeah, two for 10 passing, but those 2 passes were touchdowns.
They were touchdowns. Eric, again, in that game, pulled the sled as hard as he could. I think he was around 214 yards rushing, and that's just credible.
That's Davis off the left side there, no gain. So 3rd and 8 for the Hawks, going to bring up a passing situation here on their first series.
So, you know, talking about Eric, if he can do that here tonight, boy, the Hawks are going to have a good night if they can run the ball like they did last week and Eric can do his thing. So far, Comets have watched that Hamilton film, I think, and knew Eric's the guy to keep an eye on. So some other folks are going to have to step up. But as you just pointed out, 3rd and 8, and Troutman's going to probably see his first passing attempt here as he tosses right, looks left, and almost gets that intercepted.
That could have been a pick 6 there. 33 for Mason, Sean Kruckenberg, the safety coming up, and I think his eyes were bigger than his stomach on that one.
Yeah, he was. I think Troutman was looking for number 3, Evans there, cutting across, and nothing going. And as you just said, they just escaped a pick 6 right there.
So Austin Sierreveld back to punt there. You know, you mentioned Davis's great running game against Hamilton. You and I watched the Hamilton-Princeton game on TV.
Yes, we did.
And Hamilton's defense held Princeton in check, a team that scored 70
Oh, there's a little fumble Rooski there. I see a flag go down, and the Comets aren't going to go too far. So Severfield with a pretty decent kick down to the 30-yard line and a little fumble Rooski, but the Comets were able to pick it up and maybe about a 3-yard return. So, yeah, Ken, you know, as you were pointing out, we were watching that game. We thought, wow, Hamilton's really, you know, sticking with Princeton after we saw what they did to us here and a 71-0 blowout. Second half got a little away from Hamilton. Princeton did their thing a little bit, but boy, they really had them checked in the first half.
And East held Hamilton as well. Hamilton only scoring a touchdown on a punt return, I believe.
Yep. So the Comets drop back with a quick throw. I don't even think he took a drop back on that one. So
number 2, Quentin Kaler, the quarterback there for the Mason Comets. We're going to see 2 different quarterbacks for the Comets, I believe. Quentin Kaler and Larson Brown, assuming Brown is healthy. I know they used 2 quarterbacks in their first several games there, but quick hit and 7-yard gain for Mason on first down.
Yep, Kaler put it out there quick, just in the flat, picked up a few good yards, and now you make second short. And the playbook tends to open up as he goes now to a handoff straight up the middle. Got a hole, takes a hit, bounces off of it, still bouncing around. He's going to pick up the first down and then some and take it across the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Shelvin Hibbett there on the carry.
There we go. Get
another. Sierreveld brings him down, but Hibbett, their main ball carrier,
hits that hole right there, number 3 and 7. Put a good shot. Again, we talked about this in earlier broadcasts. That throw in the shoulder, kids watch that stuff on Sundays. Hit and wrap, a guy goes down. There's 2 Thunderhawks hitting a guy right there after about a yard gain, and then he ends up getting about another 7 yards and taking it in for a first down. Now they try to run off the left-hand tackle, and he gets really stacked up and pulled back. by number 33 there.
That's Ethan Evans. I'm sorry, that's Harrison Buckheit. There on the tackle there, but he's definitely read that well. Gain of 2 for Mason, but beautiful tackle and brought to the ground by Buckheit. So Mason, I think we're going to see a good mix of run and pass here. Typically when this quarterback's in, they'll pass a little more.
Single set back, he's in the shotgun. Throws it over to him, nothing fancy there. Finds some running room down the right-hand side, and he's going to be real close to a first down there.
Yeah, Hibbett again on the little pitch out from Kaler. Justin Green makes the tackle. East is going to have to do a little better job tackling from the D-line. We're going to watch this again here. You see Kaler get the snap and just flick it over to Hibbett. Maybe. Little technical difficulties on a replay there.
So now the quarterback's back in that shotgun with Hibbert right on his left-hand side. Doesn't take a step, just a quick throw and a drop.
Mason had the first down there on the catch, and receiver just couldn't finish the job there. Jack Ryder, intended receiver, and Comets are definitely in 4-down territory, so they're going to go for it here.
You know, Ken, I'm really surprised that the East hasn't picked this up on film with the Mason quarterback here. Doesn't look to see, he really doesn't move, Kaler doesn't. He just takes the snap and wings it. And I think if I was a defensive safety and a corner there, I'd be staying real close to my man there or baiting him a little bit and jumping in front of that because, boy, he doesn't take a step back. He takes the snap and he's just throwing it right away.
At that time, Kaler just takes the snap under center and dives forward enough for the first down. They only needed about 7 or 8 inches there, so Comets are going to get a fresh set of downs with 8 minutes left in the first.
So they'll get the first down of the evening and keeping the ball moving and the clock rolling as we're at 8:04 and running in the first quarter.
Both these teams pride themselves on ball control. Mason has won their time of possession in their last few games, and East loves to do that. East had a significant margin against Hamilton for time of possession. So both teams are very methodically wanting to drive the ball down the field.
Missed that right there. Left tackle jump. Nobody moved. Nobody pointed him out. And none of the stripes solid either. But there's that other quick hitch over there on the right-hand side. And ball's going to be incomplete this time. Here you see in this replay, Ken, he's in the shotgun. Ball comes back to him. We'll watch. You'll see that movement right there. And there's that quick throw.
Reisner in great defense position there, kind of bats it away before the receiver, Quinn Brown, could catch it.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be right up on those receivers because he's getting rid of the ball quick. Get that hand in there or just take that half a step and step right in front of him. Now he fakes the pitch and tries to keep it himself up through the middle and picks up a couple.
Yeah, Hawks do a good job of slowing that down. Wyatt Pleasant there to stop, and Cohen Reap also on the tack-in. So this is going to be 3rd and 8 for Mason. Definitely in 4-down territory. They don't have to get it all on this down here, but they definitely want to pick up 4 or 5.
And the Hawks got to be thinking that too right now. The defense has got to be talking, and the coaches have got to be talking. There's a good shot of the student section in there.
We need to get loud. Their student section needs to be loud and make sure that the Mason quarterback, you try and cause a penalty there if they can't hear.
Hawaiian lays are all out, and they're going to hand it off. They're going to go off the right side, pick up a couple, bring up 4th down. But like you said, Ken, Comets know they're in 4-down territory, and that's what I was saying. The Thunderhawks have to know that too, and the defense of coaches got to be telling these kids, hey, it's not just one. You got to play this down. It's going to be 2 downs here, as now it's 4th and 5.
We're going to see this again. Aiden Saravelt there on the tackle, and Mason. You're going to have to think here. They're maybe a little too far for the handoff. They're probably going to do the quick hit like they've been doing, but see if the Hawks can knock a ball down. They need to get loud here.
We're going to have to keep an eye on that battle there in the trenches, the 2 72s going after each other. 2 big boys battling it out as they throw it across the middle. I don't think he's going to get it, Ken.
No,
he's going to get pulled short down.
Great defensive coverage by the Hawks.
Yeah, that's going to be Buckheit is going to pull him down, and I think they're going to be short.
And Justin Green met the receiver right there.
Green and Buckheit all over that and pulls him down short of the first down, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Hawks are going to start about where they had the ball off the kickoff. Here's the replay.
So right there, the catch and the tackle immediately.
Number 33.
By Buckheit. So Hawks turnover on downs and held Mason in check here.
So good gang tackling there, too. After Buckheit jumped on him, he got help from the cavalry, and now the Troutman will start off at the 25-yard line, just where they were before. And, boy, that went nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a missed signal there or Troutman meant to keep it, but Mason defense was all over that.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what happened there at all either. I thought he was going to keep it in Eric Davis's stomach and let ED do his thing. And in film, boy, they're going to wish they did, because Eric had a nice big hole there. He was going to be running for a little bit, and he's a tough tackle, so he probably would have drug a few more and probably would have gotten the Hawks their first down of the night.
So we got a good shot there of the Hawks offensive line of Sierreveld, Frisch. I can't tell who else is in there right now.
Got a couple of new.
Back to pass. He's going deep.
Going deep to number 9. He's trying to run underneath it, but it goes a little far out of bounds for anybody to come up to it.
Intended for Draven Files there. Hawks taking a chance downfield.
So on 2nd and long, the Hawks try to get a whole bunch all at once. I don't think anybody was too full there. Looked like the Comets had that pretty well covered with the corner and a deep safety was both over on that. So now they've got themselves kind of dug in a little bit of a hole here on 3rd and long, and they need to pick up some decent yardage here.
Yeah, not a situation the Hawks like to be in with the 3rd and long. When passing situation and everyone knows you're going to pass it. So
Troutman in the shotgun, drops back, looks, going to go down the center, and zips that about 10 yards over his receiver's head. Ethan Evans streaking down the middle of the field. He was open momentarily. Again, not too sure why the Hawks are trying to get 30, 40 yards when all they need is 11. Around the 15, 20 yards downfield, he was wide open and ran into coverage, and that ball was 10 feet beyond the coverage too. So Hawks got to get on the same sheet of music there, and that play will work if they were looking for a 15, 20 yard. Now Severfield takes one off the side of his foot. He's going to get a generous roll though, and he's going to at least get it up over midfield.
Yeah, definitely not the kick angle that he wanted the ball to strike his foot with. It looked like he hit the right-hand side. Like we've talked in the past, you rarely see an offensive lineman do your kicking duties, but Austin's been doing it all year and had some booming kicks.
Yeah, he has.
That one, unfortunately, wasn't his best.
Usually he gets a good boot under there and gets a lot of air, and that one, I think, just kind of rolled off the side of his foot. But he gets it out of the deep territory and at least gets it over midfield. And Comets are going to have some good field position here to start off about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Hawks looking to contain Mason like they did in the last possession. They held him on downs. And
so same setup there for the Comets. And that looks like it's going to be almost caught and dropped as he falls out of bounds.
Yeah, Jack Ryder there, the intended receiver, and it looked like he had it from our angle, but he was bobbling it, and ball eventually wound up out of bounds. So both teams trying to go deep on one another, not something that typically happens in a Mason East game.
We're trying to get a whole bunch real quick. Not a bad idea, you know. Peyton Manning likes to do that too, right? When you want to turn the ball over to him, he tries to get a big one right away. But I'll tell you, what's impressing me or kind of making me wonder here is Kaler he doesn't move at all in the pocket. He gets the ball in the shotgun, stands right there, and throws the ball. This time he fakes it and keeps it himself and runs off the left-hand side and gains a couple and gets to the out of bounds, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And
Draven Files drives him out of bounds there, but it's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and about 4 or 5. Yeah. I don't know if they're in 4-down territory here. If I'm the Comets and I don't make it, I probably punt. But
I'm thinking to punt too if you can't make it on this one.
First you got to get that stop.
So Kaler this time goes under center at the one setback.
Hibbett in the backfield.
As he looks back there, puts it right in his belly, goes in, hits a wall.
Good defense by the
Good
Hawks.
defense by the big number 93. Steps up in there. That's Marcus Osner, the defensive lineman. I think he's playing nose tackle tonight, and he filled that hole up real quick.
Yeah, sophomore Marcus Osner there. So a great stop by the Hawks, driving Mason backwards by a yard. And that's going to bring up 4th and 5, and they're going to bring their punting unit on. So it's 2 straight stops by the Hawks. Definitely an improved defense from the last time we saw them here on Westchester Cable. Great to see the Hawks defense making their hits.
Yep, you called it, partner. There, they are definitely in not 4-down territory. As the Comets set up in a strange position there,
Yeah.
Referee was just waiting to throw the flag. I think they're going to have an illegal formation, and I'd make them re-kick this, as this thing's going to roll all the way down to about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it wasn't pretty, but they got great results on the roll. But there's a hanky down at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to have an illegal formation. That was a very strange formation. I saw the ref pull the flag out. He was just holding, waiting for the snap. As soon as he snapped it, he threw it. So we'll see what Coach Haynes has to say about this. I would definitely make him re-kick this.
Yeah, that's everyone's walking back toward the original line of scrimmage. Ref still consulting on what to do there, but definitely it's going to drive Mason 5 yards further, and got the great roll there. The kick stopped at the 1, but illegal formation on offense. They had about 3 men on the line and 8 behind the line. So, I don't know how often Mason has punted the ball, but
special teams coach over there for the Comets is not liking it. You see right there by the sticks. He is giving that referee over there an earful. Coach Haynes says, we'll let you re-kick that one.
So another kick by Krukenberg, and Andy Vogelman back to receive for the Hawks. He stands at the 10-yard line. Krukenberg, very good punter based on his statistics. So
as you said,
he's got the leg on him.
Wasn't a pretty one there, but he got a good result. So now he's going to come. This one's almost blocked as he gets it off. Vogelman backstepping and was able to still stay underneath that one. That was, wow.
Yeah,
that was a
didn't
good recovery by
that.
Andy. That was going to look like it was going to be dangerous when you're backpedaling and catching it over your shoulder, but he was able to hold on and then took a beating at the end there.
It looked to me like he was deciding between fair catch or everyone get out of the way and
Yeah.
let's let it roll. But the fact that it rolled to the 1 last time, I think he kind of second-guessed himself. Much better snap.
There you see the Hawks
There,
coming in,
almost
almost
blocked.
got a hand on it, and Andy going back, stumbles, gets that hand up and just can't get away, and takes one underneath the chin but holds on to the pigskin. And the Hawks will start off at their 9-yard line, which is a little bit better than your 1-yard line. So there's about the 5-yard difference. And Troutman hands that off to Eric Davis. He goes up the middle. But I see more laundry on the field, so we'll hold off here.
Yeah, usually flag in the spot, you usually see holding on the offense.
There's our flyby that was a little late.
They're going to get called for the chop block there. Aiden Seraveld, I believe, for the chop. Aiden Seraveld on the chop block. Going to be half the distance.
That on that plane shot, Ken reminds me we would just want to shout out to our post 7696 and American Legion 681 posting our colors. And as we always do, starting off the broadcast, we always like to make sure we recognize our military and our first responders out there, allowing us to do the things that we like to do here and have fun on a Friday night on Friday Night Lights.
So Hawks, Mason's winning the battle of field position here, and Hawks hand off to Davis. He's got nowhere
to go for ED. And, like we said at the beginning here, with Eric's stats, if I'm the defensive coordinator on the underside of this ball, I got at least one guy watching him all the time because number one is going to get the ball a ton.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball out. You got to make your blocks. You know that the opponent knows you're going to do that. So your line just has to win the battle of the trenches. Your line has to push their D-line back, and you only need 3 or 4 yards at a time. barring no penalties like
shouldn't
they
be
had
a
in this
big
possession.
shouldn't be a big challenge, as you were calling out the law firm here with a couple of new folks joining that. Some big boys up there that can hit and move and push, and we like to give them their due, and they just need to dig down a little bit and control this line of scrimmage and help their quarterback and running back. So now that's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Hawks trying the ball on the outside there to reap a little different look, trying to get the ball on the outside there. Dave, you shouted out the colors that were presented. I want to shout out Westchester Cable for allowing us to stream this game live for those at home watching the game that couldn't make it out to the Hawks Nest here. So thank you to Westchester Cable, and our listeners, feel free to pass the word along and like the page. And
like it, share it. You can watch it live on their link. You can go to YouTube and watch this, all free. A lot better than some of the others that are paying. So here we get a little replay.
See this again. Davis tries up the middle again, and 55, Brace Falk, who seems to be in on almost every tackle, and now Austin's going to have to punt from his own end zone.
Falk came to play tonight, and he's playing with an edge, too. He's being a beast in there and throwing some guys around, so now Austin gets underneath.
Monitor here, so pardon our technical difficulties there. That's going to be against the Comets there. Legal block during the run, so that's going to give 10 to 15 more yards on the end of the punt, which is definitely going to help the Hawks out. Minute 13 left in the first. We have no score. We've had more clock stoppages than I think we were expecting, with some incomplete passes. But nonetheless, no score. And a minute left here in the first quarter.
So Mason's going to start just about where they started the last time, 45-yard line this time instead of 47 after the penalty. And Kaler goes up underneath center, hands it off now to number 20. He's going wide right, keep going wide right, and then he's going to gain about 2 yards and step out of bounds. That's going to be Nick Sailors.
Yeah, Nick runs the ball quite a bit, but good containment by the corner. Ethan Evans there does a nice job stringing out with the running back. So you don't want to come up and make the tackle there. You just want to contain, and make sure that Sailors can't get around you on the right side down the sideline. So good piece of tackling or running out of bounds by the Hawks.
Yeah, Ken, I agree. They just kind of string him out. Sailors had quite a few carries last week. I think it's his first carry tonight so far, with a minute 07 here left, and he's going to get the ball again. Almost get pulled down in the backfield by, is that number 11? Holman almost had him. Is that
number 11?
Yeah.
Holman.
Holman almost had him pulled down, and then he kind of pulled away, and somebody cleaned him up for him. But
yeah, Holloman was definitely the first one there, and I'm not sure who got him afterwards there. But no, Holloman kind of finished the job there.
Kind of just falls forward and gets a few. But if he could have held on to him, that was going to be a 1-yard loss instead of a 2-yard gain. So
let's see what
now
the
Mason
Hawks,
has 3rd and 8.
See what the Hawks secondary can do to get a stop here.
I'm going to guess this is definitely going to be a pass play. I'm with you there, Ken, as he goes straight back, throws it straight through the middle, hit right off of the safety's hands. I thought the Hawks were going to get their first pick. We're going to see a replay here, Ken.
Intended for Brown, and Brown had his hands on it, and then it went off of Brown's hands, and Evans almost with the pick there, but a hold for the Hawks defense again. So all stops for both defenses here, and Mason did struggle against Middletown. So
yes. So defense doing their job, hold them. Would have loved to seen a pick right there at midfield. Andy's waving everybody off.
Yeah, we got to be
as the
careful
ball
there
kind
that
of
it didn't hit
hits
us
a
there.
divot and get a little spin back as the punt's going to go down just about the 22 now. And the Hawks are going to take over with 7 seconds, and I'm going to guess it's going to be either a knee or a quick handoff, and Coach Haynes is going to go into the
It's only the first quarter.
First quarter here and hold off and see what the second quarter brings.
I would expect a run here by Davis. You're not going to try and go downfield deep, but, you're probably going to be a little conservative here, but expect the handoff to Davis as usual.
And I'd like to see something a little bit different that they aren't expecting. So now Troutman fakes it, and looks like ED carries a couple of people up on the right-hand side, and they pull them down. So I think that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter with the score 0-0 here in the Hawks Nest.
Apologize again for the technical difficulties there. Davis ran the ball twice in a row. Once he gained 10 and once he gained 8. So it's going to 2nd and 2 for the Hawks with just under 11 minutes here. Sorry to our viewers for that minute that we missed. And Troutman back to pass. He's going to roll to the right, and he's going to smartly get rid of it out of bounds. Good heads-up play by Troutman, the quarterback, to get rid of that ball instead of taking a sack.
So Troutman, like you said, was in there looking on a passing down on 3rd and short. I kind of like it, but again, I'm not too for sure why we're going, or 2nd and short, why we're looking that far downfield. A lot of stuff's open mid-range at the 10, 12, 15, 18 yard is wide open, and we keep looking for these 30, 40-yard passes, and they're just not developing yet. But hopefully somebody upstairs sees that and shouts down to the sidelines, because the passing game is there. Behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties, but we're trying to stretch that offense. Maybe they're setting something up for later that we don't know, Ken, but now Troutman goes up underneath, hands that one off as the winger comes around and makes another break tackle. And
a good play call and good run by Ethan Evans there. You see the counter kind of play there, and good block by Frisch. Good block by the Sierraveld law firm.
Yep.
And first down for the Hawks. You and I, Dave, were talking at the break, and Hawks have had success against Mason passing the ball in previous years. So it's the same coaching staff over there in the Mason sideline. So I know, they know how to beat them, but you got to have a good throw and you got to have a good catch. So
once they figure this out, they're going to be successful, because, like we said, their stuff is open as Troutman hands that off to ED going up the middle this time again, and he gets a nice set size of yards, about 5. Bringing up 2nd and 5, and ED doing the thing that ED does, picking up 5-6 yards easily a carry.
Yeah, that's the bread and butter. You run right behind your line. Your line in the trenches can push you forward, and all Davis has to do is secure the ball there. Nothing fancy. He doesn't have to make any moves. But if you could run behind that big offensive line and just get your 3-4 at a time, that's going to add up, and you can't self-implode with penalties, and you can't have some incompletions there. Just need to methodically march down the field there, and there's Davis again.
Going forward, he's going to pick up about 4, and I think this is going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Krukenberg, the safety on the tackle there, came up, and Troutman. I would look for Troutman to keep it on this. Davis has proven he can get the 1 or 2, but Comets are going to key on Davis here. So if Troutman can pull it back, or that counter play again, that counter to Evans.
You got Justin Green in there on this left-hand wing right now, so he can run the ball as well.
Hawks going double tight end set.
As Green goes in motion, you're going to hand it off to Eric Davis on the counter as he spins, stays on his feet, goes forward. He's going to pick up another first down. Hawks.
It's great ball security by Davis here. You don't want turnovers here. You just have to grab the ball and hold on to it, and spins there and gets down.
So you got Aiden Severfield with a great block that breaks ED open off to the side.
So fresh set of downs for the Hawks. 8.5 minutes left in the second. Containing the ball. They want the ball possession. Field possession here. Battle of field possession, which this game has proven to be. Troutman sends Green in motion.
Hands it off again to Davis. Davis getting a lot of attention by those white shirts in there. 51 is in there. Davis.
Ball carrier,
55,
Eric Davis.
Falk.
His tackle for the Comets, number 55.
McCain's is in there too, number 84. Here's the replay. Eric going in, spinning.
Falk gets there quick. 51 as well for Mason. You had told me he's got a couple offers there.
Yeah, looks a couple of Ivy League schools that are taking a look at him. Apparently, at least Columbia, and then one of the service academies, Navy, has been talking to him. So good for that young man if he gets to play beyond high school at the next level.
Obviously, he has good grades.
Yep.
There's a pitch out by Troutman to Reap, I believe. And that's going to go forward for about 4 or 5 yards.
Reap brings it right around. You'll see Reap coming around in motion. Nice pitch right at him. Makes a quick turn. I like the decision early. Sees a lot of white shirts, but sees an alley. Says, let me get as much as I can and go down.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 3rd and medium. They are 4-down territory, so like we said when Mason was at that exact spot of the field, don't need to get it all, but you need to get 2 or 3 on this so you can set up a 4th and manageable.
Reap goes in motion again, hands it off to Davis, but boy, the Comets were ready for that one, though. Eric tries to lean forward and get as much as he can out of that.
Looks like so about a yard and a half.
Yeah, he's going to move the stick a little bit and bring up about, I'm going to say 4th and 4. We'll see it again here, Ken, as Davis gets it.
42 and 52 for Mason. Nice job of tackling.
A lot of
42 Malachi.
A lot of bodies in that hole right there. Is
Hawks are going to take a timeout to talk this one over here. Good clock management here. Critical play for the Hawks on offense. See if they can move the chains.
6:27 left here in the second quarter. Nothing, and you got a 4th and 4. I kind of like the timeout Coach Haynes takes to come up with the play that's going to definitely keep this ball moving and move the chains, because definitely want to get something here before the halftime. And
I want to take this time again to thank Westchester Cable as we see the Spirit Band and the percussion section, and don't know what quite they have on their head, but definitely in the spirit of the homecoming week that we have upon us. But Westchester Cable, thanks for allowing us to bring this game to those that are streaming online. I'm seeing about 80 watchers currently, and I know people are going to watch the playback at their leisure while they can. So thank you for our viewers and for this community for allowing us to do this.
Absolutely. As we saw a shot there, Coach Haynes with the offense huddled around him. He's got the play. They go back out. Here we go on a big critical 4th and 4 as he looks to hand it off to Eric Davis. And there's that quarterback keeper. And Troutman's going to be real close.
Yep. Mason thinks they stopped him. Looks like about a half-yard short.
Yep, that's going to be a left foot or a right foot, and if that's a left foot, he's going to come up short.
Yeah, they're not even going to measure that there.
Yep. Referee just turns and spins, and looks like he's at half a yard short, but
good decision by Troutman to keep that. Everyone's
going
to key on Davis, so take a chance there. You know, Mason hasn't really proven that they can have the quick, long strike, so your defense is held. Not a bad place to give Mason the ball. And Hawks defense going to be put to the test one more time.
Turn it over on the 29-yard line. One of the worst field positions the Comets have had so far, with about 6:20 left, as there goes big number 48, breaks off of a tackle, and I don't know why they're not blowing the whistle just quite yet. Now they finally do.
And Taylor dropping back to pass and just smothered by Jake Reisner.
Reisner back after an injury here. And Jake, you see, he just sheds that tackle and eats up the quarterback. And this is where I was a little confused why the referee wasn't blowing that whistle a little sooner. But the Hawks come in and get a big sack.
Yeah, 11
back
yards.
To the 18-yard line.
Minus 11 on that. Kaler does not run very much. I was looking at his stats, and he had negative yards there. So not very mobile back there. He kind of stands in the pocket like you mentioned.
Yep. Now he takes the shotgun and pitches it right away, and not a whole lot there as the Hawks get in there. Number 3, number 7 looks like we're both showing up here on the replay. We'll see.
Evans and Green there.
Number 3, Ethan Evans. It's 3rd and long.
So third and 19 here Hawks corners need to step up here and knock down a pass, and then Hawks will hold for yet again.
Yep, and we know Kaler can wing it out there. He's got plenty of arm. So like you said, corners got to do their job, safety do their jobs. He's not very mobile, so I'd put a little D-line pressure on him and maybe come up with something here on 3rd and long. As now he looks to sail it up there, and if somebody turns around, they're going to get a pick. Oh, no! And the Mason Comet turns around, number 14, and it falls right in his basket.
Yeah, that's Braden Greer on the reception, who is the Comets' leading receiver by a bunch. Greer has 19 receptions on the season, make it 20 with that. And their next leading receiver has 4. So it's probably going to go to Greer.
Yeah, right here, all he's got to do is turn around. And I thought the Hawks were going to come up with an INT there.
Yeah, Evans in the right position there, but he didn't turn around and knocked on the ball. So first down Comets, 4:22 left.
And 3rd and super long becomes a first down over midfield. And now the Comets are in business as now Kaler throws over to the left flat, catches it behind the line of scrimmage and goes forward. But like you said, their connection, right? 2 and 14 is everything on the stat sheet shows those are the two guys that are going to do everything. And
you see this quick hit here from Kaler to Kessick.
And he dives forward for about 4 yards. But
Hawks defense was in the right position there. They had a corner right. They had Evans directly on the receiver.
If he'd have just turned around, he would have had it. If not knocked down, probably an INT there. So now Mason tries to hand it off, and I think Reisner finds him and swallows him up with number 73 in there, Hayden Severfield.
Hawks have to be quite happy with Reisner back in this lineup here in his linebacker position. There's Severfield also. Severfield and Reisner there, a little pushing action by the sophomore Osner.
Yeah, there's a battle going on in those trenches, Ken, if you're watching, man, between the two 72s, 73 and 93 on our side, along with a couple of these offensive linemen from the Comets. Like you said, this is a crosstown rivalry. These kids know each other, and there's a lot of pride out here on the turf tonight as there's another quick hitch out to the left-hand side and, given this kind of cushion, and I see some more yellow hanky coming out. And I see the senior running over there trying to grab some black shirts, getting them out of there.
Yeah, here's another quick out there to
number 4 for the Comets.
4 is Jack Ryder. Ryder's been targeted for passes a couple times.
I'm not for sure. I didn't see a whole lot there on the side.
Personal foul, defense, number 9, half the distance.
I did not see.
Files there by,
didn't see a whole lot there on the replay.
I don't know if he hit him out of bounds or something.
He hit him in bounds and was pulling him here. We'll see the replay. Hit him in bounds and drags him out of bounds right here. There's the hit in bounds. And it's something when number 9 stands up right. Keep rolling it, guys. Right here when he stands up, the Comet guy kind of comes up, and there's the flag there in the left-hand corner of your screen. I know this is a little quick, but that's going to cost half the distance to give the Comets great field position here right before the half with 2:47 as Kaler goes off into the right-hand corner looking for his favorite number 14. And this time,
yeah, very good defense by the Hawks there.
Number 24, Noah Troutman, at the last minute gets the shove.
Yeah, it looks like Greer did wind up catching the ball, but I don't think he got 1 foot in bounds. So good defense by Troutman there. 2nd and 9.
There you go. You catch it there left on the corner, Ken. Yeah, you're right. He comes down with the ball, but can't get the feet in bounds. And
nice pass by Kyler, putting it.
Very nice pass and a great catch. Just 6 inches too far to the right, or that's a touchdown.
I think we're going to have a false start there on no offense. Lined up in the neutral zone and some contact made by the Hawks. So that's going to give Mason
another
4.5 yards toward the goal line.
So 2 penalties are not helping the Hawks here at all right before the halftime. A game that we thought may stay 0-0 going into the half, and now you get 1 big play. A big penalty after a short play, and now another penalty, and now the Comets are knocking on the door with 2nd and goal.
Clearly the play of the game when it was 3rd and 19.
Kaler keeps it. It's going to go up the middle. He's not going to get touched, and it's going to be touchdown Comets at the 2:38 point. And boy, the Hawks are going to kick themselves for that one because, like we said, that was the big play on 3rd and super long. And now 2 penalties puts him here at 2nd and 4, and Kaler just keeps it, and he's barely touched.
Yeah, he just waltzed up the middle there. And here's Michael Timmons
to try the point after. 14 holding, and he gets it up and over.
Yeah, the sure-handed Greer there, the leading receiver. So Mason's going to take a 7-0 lead here with 2.5 minutes left in the half. You know, a game where the Hawks have played great defense, except for that 3rd and 19. They had them deep.
Yeah.
You know what? I take that back. That was okay defense. Greer just went up and made a great catch above Evans there. So.
Yep, he did. The defender was there, and the other defender actually left his man. I thought one of the 2 of them were surely going to get at least a hand on that ball. And Greer climbs the ladder, comes down with it, makes the big play, which sets up this whole entire score. As the guys give us a great shot there, as you can see the backdrop of the sun going down and the clouds on Friday Night Lights here at the Hawk Nest. So now the Hawks need to find something here. Be good to see a good return here and get some decent field position. We're kind of wondering what the Comets are going to do, as it looks like Hawks think they're going to squib it. Looks like they got kind of a hands team out there.
Yeah, they got Evans up front a little bit, and they've got Files back with Vogelman. You can tell who is up here with Ethan Evans.
Eric Davis, Ethan Evans there at the midfield.
Yeah, I don't know if Mason on film doesn't have a great kickoff man. Their first kick was a little short coming to Vogelman, so here's another one. It's going deep, and Files will be set to return.
He takes it about the 9-yard line. There's a good block there by Vogelman. Breaks him open. Finds a little bit of space. Keeping on his feet. And then he gets popped right about at the 35-yard line, Ken. And, boy, if he could have jumped over that tackle, he was going to find a little bit more green.
Yeah, he was winding his way through a bunch of blockers. Does a great job following his blockers. And, you know, you need someone to make something happen. And Files does a good job making it happen there. Vogelman with a good block there. Evans up there. And nice little move, tries to hop the defender there at the end. But great return, and Hawks have field position at their own 34.
I think if he hops that one, he's got another 10 or 20 yards at least now. Troutman hands it off over to, is that Evans coming around?
Couldn't tell if that was Evans.
Yep, number 3, Evans.
Yep. Ethan Evans there, one of the homecoming court members here representing the senior class.
So Troutman here, you see, gives it to Evans. He makes a hard cut, tries to go up through the middle. And I don't know if I'd be trucking up in that middle right now at 51, 55. They're kind of hungry there.
Yeah, Connor Frisch and the Sieverveld law firm have quite a handful there on their plate. 2 minutes left for the Hawks, 2nd and long.
And they got big number 84 in there too. McMickens there, all in those linebacker positions as they stack the box now, and Troutman goes and hands it off to Davis, and somehow ED gets through some of those big bodies and carries one with him.
Yeah, real productive run of 6 yards there. Right up the middle. That's going to be 3rd and short, so definitely manageable for the Hawks to try and get a first down here. They have used one timeout already. Minute 25 and ticking.
Yeah, clock is going to be a factor here, Ken. Like you said, they do have the 2 timeouts, as they took one trying to convert that 4th and 4 and came up a little short. That became a critical play so far now in this half.
So double
they could have held on to that ball as Troutman kicks for the motion, takes the ball, hands it off to Eric Davis. He's going to get the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily as they move the chains. And now the Hawks need to see a little bit of sense of urgency here, right? Get this play in, get things moving, as I see the referee winding the arm, and the Hawks aren't ready to snap the balls. We saw the replay there of Davis getting the first down, and we're still not ready.
Yeah, it's something they've struggled with in the past to have that sense of urgency here when you're in the final 2 minutes there. And now they're going to have to take a timeout. But they've wasted 15 seconds there prior to the timeout. So
at least 15 seconds.
You know, you have to know, you have to anticipate that you're going to get that first down and have your play ready.
Right.
It's something I've watched this for years and years where it's just a repeated pattern of not being ready for that first down or for the next play call in.
We've talked about the 2-minute offense before, and he struggles with a little bit. But like you said, you know, you take the ball over under 2 minutes here. You got to know what you're going to do, whether you make the first down or you don't make the first down, and you get that free pause with the clock stopping to move the chains and have that opportunity to get a play, and only get like maybe 1 or 2 seconds off the clock before you're up there calling your play at the line of scrimmage. So after a lot of wasted time there, and to use a timeout and burn an extra 15 to 17 seconds.
Now the Hawks are down to 1 timeout left.
As Troutman goes in the shotgun, they let everybody come. They do a screen, and number 7 has the ball. He's going up the middle. Got to get at least a first down and then some. And again, the clock stops on the chain move. Hawks should be running up to the line real quick here. As you'll see the replay, as Troutman, they let everybody come through, and they all come, man, because they were coming upfield. And number 7.
Fantastic play call there. But again, Hawks need to get to the line.
Yeah, Green takes it up there, and here we are, still not with the play snapped yet. As now Troutman has it, going to hold on to it, and he just gets rolled down for a loss. And the Hawks are going to have to take a timeout right away and make this second long with 19 seconds left.
Yeah, you know, you're looking at 25 more seconds if you can get to the line and know what you're going to do. At least have a hot call where quarterback gets the line, and instead of 15 seconds burning, you're using 5.
Right.
But instead they huddle up and they're, you know.
And you know what? I'd be fine with just spiking it. You're in 4-down territory. Just go up and clock it and then set yourself up.
So 20
save those
seconds
timeouts.
Left, 20 seconds left, no timeout, 2nd and 12. So you're in a position here where if you don't get the first, you do have to clock it or make this your last play, you know.
Yeah, I mean, right here after the first down, if Troutman just goes up there and clocks it, the clock stops. You don't waste your timeout, and instead of losing 2 yards, all you did is burned it down, and it's 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and almost 13.
So clear passing situation here for the Hawks. They're, you know, Mason knows it too. That's the other part of this equation is you're not going to catch anyone off guard with this play call. So
yep, they've got
Troutman
4 guys back. Troutman steps up. He's got a lot of green in front of him as he throws one down the middle. Number 9 goes right through his hands at the goal line.
Yeah, Files definitely had his man beat there. We're going to watch this again here, and you see Troutman with all kinds of time in the world. Fantastic blocking by his line. Steps up, heaves it up, and Files had space, and Troutman put it where he could catch it and make a play. You know, Files made the great run back, made his play there, and didn't quite hear. So
yeah, I don't know. On that replay, you see Vogelman cutting in front of there, so I don't know if he's trying to go to overthrow Vogelman on that, or if he was really trying to get to Green, but Green did have a shot at it. He was the only one that could get a paw on it, and boy, that would have been exactly what the doctor ordered to have first and goal. He may have even gotten the touchdown, and he was right there at the goal line. As now the Hawks take a...
Is there a penalty here coming up?
Delay a game, I think.
I'm not quite sure.
I
Dave,
think I saw delay a game signaled by the referee, and the Hawks will go 5 more yards back and make this 3rd and 18.
Well, that's where Mason was when they had their long play.
And I'd run that same play, Ken. It was there. I would run that same play, but instead we hand off to ED. He gets a few, and I think that's going to run the clock out. Nope. Mason calls timeout.
Yeah, Comets are going to want Searveld to punt the ball. He's had 2 not so great punts, so I don't know if they're hoping that they can.
And he has had a couple blocked.
Here, and he has had some blocked in the past. So,
I think West got a block on him, and Princeton had a block on him possibly, I think. And so, hey, you know, my theory is you can't take him into the locker room with you. So, you know, hats off to the Comets coach over there. Going to burn a TO and make you punt the ball.
We may get to see Austin run the ball here. if we get a snap to Sierraville, then Hawks elect not to punt and just run. I don't know if he can scramble around for 6 seconds, kind of go backwards and then go out of bounds. I don't know if
it was a couple of years
creative
ago,
there.
and he's quite a bit bigger now. But I can vouch this boy can run. As I watched him play lacrosse with my son a few years ago, and once the engine gets moving, boy, look out! I would not want to try to stop that locomotive.
So we'll see what the Hawks have in store, if they're going to just traditionally punt the ball and trust their defense, or if they're going to try and scramble around for 5 seconds. You know, if it was 2 or 3 seconds, you could do it. 6 seconds, it's kind of borderline there. So see what the Hawks have in store here.
Austin's back there waiting. Snap comes. He gets it off, gets a good one on that one. Nice and high. Lots of air underneath that one. That's the one he's been looking for all night, and deads it right about the 2-yard line. So great punt.
Puts a 9-iron right on the green there and
He
sticks
did.
the landing.
Had a divot and everything. So that'll bring us to the end of the first half. The Mason Comets 7, Lakota East Thunderhawks 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Marching Thunderhawks with the 2022 program entitled Remove. The Marching Thunderhawks are under the direction of Rob Tannis and Andrew Gentleman, with assistance from David Wyrick, Maggie Whaley, Pat Yarosky, Tony Thomas, Taylor Evans, Susie Cole, Bill Pendleton, Jeremy Oliver, Scott Brown, Rob Howe, John Esty, and Vicki Bolter. Folks, this past weekend, the Marching Thunderhawks had their first OMEA competition in Norwood, Ohio, and they earned a superior rating. Best overall percussion, best overall auxiliary, class AA champion, and overall grand champion. Congratulations to the Thunderhawks. Next weekend, they're going to be competing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks, where we have your Lakota East Thunderhawks facing the Mason Comets, and the Comets are up 7-0 after a pretty evenly matched first half. Ken, here the Hawks are going to kick off here to the Comets and give them the ball as the Comets deferred here to the second half, and they're going to get good field position there, as I think that was Severfield doing the kickoff there, or
that's what the
kickoff guys.
That's what the PA announcer said. We do have a false start on the Hawks there. I would imagine Mason will just take the ball at the 35 since the kick went out of bounds. But David, as you said, a very low-scoring first half. Neither team really had much success moving the ball. Mason had a 3rd and 19 in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, and they had about a 50-yard pass moving them down the field, and they scored 3 plays later. So that's been the only offense in the game, was the long pass play from Kyler to
number 14, his favorite
Greer?
target. Yep, Greer. And then 2 penalties put him right on the doorstep, and he walked in. So here we getting ready to start the second half as Kyler goes back. Now he moves a little bit where he hasn't moved it at all night, and finds that big target over there on the right-hand side. As we were saying just on the coming back in on the broadcast here, Severfield doing the kickoff duties, which is usually Austin doesn't do that, as we get the replay here as Kaler rolls, throws it. I will say this, he has a strong arm.
Yeah, he stays in the pocket nicely and finds his big target there. We're going to have another personal foul maybe tacked on at the end of the pass.
Yeah, I think, again, we were talking about that battle in the trenches, and I think somebody's helmet got pulled off down there at the line of scrimmage. So modest gain, would have brought up second about 4, I think, but now with a 15-yarder tacked on. We were just talking about penalties there, which led to the first score for the Comets, and the Hawks give up another 15 to them here and get them across midfield. Now he pitches it out to number 20. That is Nick Sailors, whose number was called quite a few times apparently last week, not so much tonight, as number 32, Hibbert has been getting most of the calls. We'll see the replay here as the quarterback just tosses it straight out to him. Nothing fancy there, and the Hawks swarm up on that.
So Hawks defense played very well in the first half. They gave up 104 total yards, 44 of them on one play.
Yep.
So the other 23 plays for Mason collectively only garnered 60 yards for him.
And we were having a battle here until, like you said, that one series. And there he goes again, right there, big number 14. And the Hawks defense has got to clue in to number 14 as his favorite target. And he's not a hard kid to find there. He stands at about 6'3", I think they have him listed at. And you see here, Kaler again, I mean, no step drop. He just takes the pitch, or he takes the shotgun snap, turns, and throws. Nothing fancy about this guy throwing from the shotgun here at all.
So Greer now has 22 catches on the season, and he's just a junior. So Mason's got high hopes for him.
Mason has the double shift. Kaler trying to get the ball over there kind of late, but it kind of worked out as number 20 takes the ball, Nick Sailors again. As Kaler almost didn't get over there far enough, as you'll see here on the replay. He almost doesn't get to his man as he's kind of stumbling, and probably good, because I don't know who that was that shot in for the Hawks. Kind of had to pull up. I think that was number 7.
Green or possibly Ethan Evans. I don't know if Shelvin Hibbett is hurt, Dave, but he was the lone running back for most of the first half. And now Nick Sailors is in it. I don't know if they're tag teaming it or Hibbett's out, but Sailors, like you said, had a great week against their opponent last week, Middletown.
So Greer split high right underneath the center there. Kaler rolls back, steps up, goes to throw right away, finds number 12 now. I think that's the tight end. And he gets the big gain.
Yeah, that's Quinn Brown, and he was the intended receiver on a bunch of passes in the first half. Nice touch by Kaler there on the pass. He rolls out, He's rolling left and throwing right, which is a hard pass for a quarterback to make.
And he puts it right on the 1 and the 2 for Brown to haul in. And I'm just going to take a wild guess that this kid might be playing baseball too for Mason, because his arm seems really strong. As they rush in and to get the play in, they still got plenty of time on the play clock here, but they got 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. And the Hawks got to try to hold this to 3 somehow as they hand it off to number 20. And they wrap him up after he gains about another yard and cuts that in half.
Yeah, Sailors runs right into Justin Green there. And Austin Sierveld. And Austin kind of throws him down there before Sailors can get to the end zone. So Reisner and 55, who's their strong linebacker in blocking as well. And he and Reisner, that's been a fun battle to watch there.
Yeah, I was down in the training center down there at the halftime. Saw Reisner down there and said, keep bringing the wood, man. You got to keep driving in those trenches and not let them push you around and get this quarterback who doesn't want to seem to move. And as they just go into a big scrum.
Yeah, Kaler moved on that one, but all he had to move was 1 yard. So his backs pushed him toward the front of the pile, and Kaler just fell forward into the end zone for the touchdown, his 2nd touchdown of the day.
So he gets in there, and Sailor pushes from behind, and well, I don't know where he made it in, but I guess they said he got in there somewhere, right? I don't know, Ken. Right? Is he right in there? Is his feet? Is that his?
Yeah, I think the ball
crossed the
there,
line,
which is only Timmett's in for the point. We've got a whistle before the kick.
So the Comets get it into the end zone with their quarterback getting a little help pushing behind, and I'd say right now it looks like they're winning the battle in the trenches, which we talked about earlier of, it's going to be a mano-a-mano little crosstown grit here. Who wants to push and who doesn't? But I think this is actually going to be on East.
Yeah,
as they're looking over at the
too many men on the field, maybe. Encroachment on the defense. It's going to be waved off, and Mason's going to take their extra point. So
they're going to try it again. Oh, because the whistle was actually blown before he kicked it.
Okay.
So they're going to decline it and just re-kick it again from the same spot. And
looks like Colson Bunch in for this extra point. Not Timmons, like I said. Colson Bunch. Kick is up and good.
And you don't want to mess with those kickers' mantra, right? So I guess they just wanted to leave it in the same spot, let him do it again, get the same results. So PAT's good, and the Mason Comets are going to go up 14-0. And I don't think this is where the Hawks wanted to find themselves here early in the second half, down 14-0.
Yeah, good adjustments by Mason there at halftime, seeing that they can pass the ball. They had some wide open receivers in Brown and Greer on that series, and Kaler found them nicely, and Hawks are going to have to make some defensive adjustments to counter that.
Yeah,
because that's going to be easy for Mason to just pass it up the field if they want to.
Yeah, Hawks are definitely going to have to make their adjustment here and put a stop to that, because if not, this is going to get out of control pretty fast. So just looking around the conference here, Lakota West is up 24-0 over Hamilton. A couple of other scores here. In conference play, Coleraine 15, Oak Hills 10. Thought I saw the Oak Hills score here as well.
Hawks only 83 yards in the first half, so they're going to have to get something going here. Relying obviously heavily on Davis. Troutman had a nice run also, but Hawks not able to really, they only completed one pass on about 4 or 5 attempts. There's a short kick fielded by Davis, the up man, and Hawks playing for that short punt. Davis out past the 35-yard line to about the 37. And Hawks will start on offense with the ball at about the 37. They're going to have to move the ball and move it in a hurry, Dave. They're still staying true to themselves by settling for this 3-4 yards at a time, but far and few between are they able to move the ball down the field efficiently here. They were against Hamilton a little bit against Middletown, but today against this Comet defense, it's been a little more tough sledding for him.
So Troutman goes under center there, fakes the pitch and hands it off to ED.
And our ball carrier, Eric Davis.
Davis plunges ahead for two, and Mason student section getting loud.
They are getting louder, and they're camos over there as the guys give us a quick shot there. They're on the camo garb for tonight's game.
So 2nd and 7 for the Hawks in their own territory. Troutman under center.
And they have to answer with this drive, Ken. I think the Hawks got to get some points here, as there's a big run up the middle.
Ball carrier,
Eric Davis, again, just grinding it out. Picks up the first down, moves the chains, and
Possibly a cramp there. And Teleponde.
See Eric going up the middle, carrying his 45 on his back for a few yards. And like we said, he's a load. He's always carrying somebody somewhere. So there's the Lakota Brain Trust on the offensive side of the ball, and hopefully they made some adjustments at halftime and can continue to march this ball down the field, because like I said, Ken, they got to find some points here with this possession.
There's Davis again, and he is stopped after a 2-yard gain. Yeah, you know, Davis is a playmaker. When he gets the ball, anything can happen. He's going to run the tough couple yards. But Hawks did a good job using Reap, Green, and Files there on the outside. And they're going to have to take their shots and use them a little more. They're not too concerned being down 14, but as the clock ticks here in the second half.
And we're about halfway through the third quarter here, and we're just at midfield as Eric Davis gets it, goes forward. He's going to cross over midfield and be real close to the sticks here, as they're going to come up just short and be third and about maybe a yard here.
A powerful run by Davis here, following Frisch and Seerveld, who creates the hole for him, and all he has to do, like I said, he does a good job securing the ball. I hope I didn't jinx him there. But, you know, he holds the ball tightly with two hands. And Hawks in 3rd and 1 now send 3 receivers wide. Actually, four receivers set.
Four split here. Single set back, give it to Eric Davis. He goes up the middle, finds some and a little bit more, and then he gets hit from behind and gets knocked forward. And Eric will get another first down, Hawks.
Yeah, nice run by Davis for 8. Different formation by the Hawks, something that maybe confused Mason, because they were sending their secondary out wide. And if Davis can explode past the defensive line, he's definitely going to get another 5 or 6 on that formation. So Hawks
absolutely
right now with 3 receivers set, 2 receivers high and 1 low.
Man goes in motion, gives another again to Davis. That's opening up the middle, like you're saying, Ken. And now Eric's picking up 6-7 yards, and if he can just get past that linebacker line, he's going to be prancing for a few more. As I got a quick score here, Middletown Sycamore. Middletown's up 7-3, and they're at the half too. As you see Eric going through there, gets to the linebacker core and carries one of them forward and bring up a second short.
But that's a good formation for the Hawks. They didn't show that in the first half. And again, they've got 2 receivers low and 2 receivers high, single backfield. So that's going to spread the Mason secondary out a little more.
Yeah, we got Reap and Files close to us, and Vogelman and Green on the top of your screen there.
Davis is going to run ahead for another 7 or 8.
That'll be another first down.
First down, Thunderhawks.
So Hawks are going to stay with this formation, I would assume. It's where, you know, Hawks subscribe to the if it's not broke, don't fix it. And again, they're spreading their receivers out. Now, you know, you could catch Mason sleeping and maybe throw a quick out up top, but
there's going to be a heavy dose of Eric Davis, and now Mason kind of figures that out. As I kind of was just getting ready to say right before that snap, I saw linebackers squeezing a little bit more in the box there, anticipating that handoff to Eric, and they were ready for this. As you see, Troutman, boy, if he had kept that, I think he would have cut up underneath that guy right there, 55, and he'd have been gone for a while. So
once you see the linebacker sneaking in, you've got your slot receiver that maybe you can hit down the field. if the Hawks can recognize that. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Or like I was saying there, fake it to Eric Davis, and Troutman keeps it, because everybody's keying on number 1 right now. So those battles in there, 55, 51, 20, are all keying up on number 1 for the Thunderhawks right now. So
that time Davis plows ahead for 5. That's going to be 3rd and 4.
here you got 1, 2, 3, 4 shirts on him, pulling him backwards. I'm telling you, ED's a load, man. And I'm sure his numbers are up there. I think I saw about 54 yards already in the first half.
So 4 wide again for the Hawks. They got 2 receivers on the south side of the field, and
nobody's
2 on
even
the north,
covering number 7 out there.
Troutman's going to keep that. Troutman blasts ahead for the first down.
Did you catch that? Ken 7 was up there tapping his helmet. Nobody was covering him on that top side of your screen. Vogelman was out there. The corner had him. And there's nobody over there on the left-hand side of the screen for that, like you said, quick out to number 7 as Troutman takes it forward. And they're going to be inside the red zone for the first time tonight and down to just under the 15-yard line.
I'm always a fan of the Saravelds. Nick Fritsch is doing a great job there blocking ahead.
As there's another quick handoff to Eric. Now he backpedals his way in and keeps those heels driving. And he's going to move the stick down. You see her, Ken. Eric gets spun around here, right?
Yeah, they were all over Troutman there. In the
he gets spun around. He just backpedals, keeps those legs driving. And
Caden Davis all over Troutman. So, good handoff. Davis playing with confidence right now. Hawks inside the 10 at the 8, 2nd and 4. And we'll see if Hawks can plow this in.
Oh,
fumble.
Oh, it's still out, and it's behind them, and the Comets are going to get it. Oh, it was underneath. Somehow it got kicked out. Nobody was around but the Comets, but just as everything was going the right way, some exchange there between Troutman and the center, because Troutman did not come out of there clean with the ball. Yeah, Troutman goes right down. It's right 77's below his feet, kicks it.
Kind of squirts out, and then 55, who's been all over the field, Bryce Falk, is the one that recovered it. I saw one of their super fans on the sideline. We haven't called his name because he was in an arm sling. Jacob Bates, who's been the Comets' leading tackler on the season. I didn't realize he wasn't in the game, but he's on the sideline in an arm.
Now Kaler takes a snap, hands it off to 32. He's just going to run up the left hand off the left side tackle, and
there's Hibbett, Shelvin Hibbett. So he is back in the game. They must alternate Hibbett and Sailors, but they tend to run the single backfield.
Yeah, I couldn't tell on that replay, Ken. We're going to get to this last play here with Hibbett, but for on the Hawks, I don't know what was going on. Troutman did have a shoulder injury. That's what knocked him out earlier in the season. Didn't see if there was a bad exchange there, if the center raised up or anything, but just...
no, but it looks like Troutman's shoulder got stepped on. He is now being seen by the trainer on the sideline. There's a quick pass, Kaler to Greer. And Greer
now we're going to get a penalty here. Another personal foul. Guys getting a little too anxious after the play. Looked like 34 and 67 for the Comets, and I think the Hawks are going to come out on the losing end of this. Again, another personal foul.
Yeah, Hawks
I don't know if we got a replay of that from the line of scrimmage there.
And that's all frustration, Dave. Hawks are really frustrated with being able to drive down the field and fumbling there, and then instead of staying composed, you let your frustration out on the play.
There's Troutman. Looks like he's off the table moving around, but I don't know if anybody saw that last play. It looked like 34 on our side and one of the linemen for the Comets, but nonetheless, it's going to cost them another 15 yards, all that extra pushing and shoving. I don't know. So another handoff.
Handoff to Hibbett. He keeps his feet moving.
Yeah.
Gets an extra 4 after the initial hit.
Right when the Hawks had him stopped pretty much at the line of scrimmage, and he squeaks out, picks up 4 more.
Ethan Evans.
So clock ticking, play clock ticking, about a difference of 11 seconds. So
There's
barring
a
an
replay
incompletion here,
of
Mason,
Hibbett.
this will be the last play of the third quarter.
Somebody just couldn't hold on to his toes there. And he keeps his feet driving and moving, and Comets keep the ball forward and bring it up a second and about 5.
Should be content handing it off to Hibbett, and they do. Hibbett off the
Hibbett
right
pounces
side.
it out to the outside, stringing it, still going. And boom, there is a big hit there at the end as he doesn't step out of bounds, and that's going to bring us. Nope, they're going to keep it rolling. I guess he did go out of bounds. Looked like he went out of bounds on that far side. So we're rolling it down here. Here's the replay as 32 takes it off to the side, and 34 comes in and puts a big, or 33 there. Yeah, it looked like he stepped out of bounds to me twice, but
they blew the whistle dead there.
that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter, where the Mason Comets are 14 and Lakota East Thunderhawks are 0. Well, welcome back to Thunderhawk Stadium, the Hawk Nest here, where your Lakota East Thunderhawks are down 14-0 as you see the scoreboard there and the band playing in the end zone. And everything is set nicely right now, Ken. It's a great temperature, great night, except for the score at 14-0. And just when the Hawks were getting ready to knock on the door inside the red zone, down to the 6-yard line, fumble, turnover. Now the Comets have the ball and are marching it almost to midfield.
Yeah, defensive battle in the first half. In the third quarter, Mason drove down and scored pretty easily. They're going to get penalized for a false start here. But the Hawks then answered Mason's drive by going with the 3 wide and 4 wide receiver set. Davis run up the middle, about 5, 6, 7 times. Got them down to the 6, and then a botched snap turned the ball over back to the Comets.
And the Comets in this department have kind of winning this penalty battle. They've had their fair share, but they've been in the 5-yard variety, where the Hawks have had now, 3 personal fouls for 15 yards at a pop. And, in a tight battle like this, where first downs are tight, total yardage has been tight, time of possession has been tight, giving a free 45 yards in penalties is just not the way to go. I don't know if we ever did catch that last personal foul where it was kind of behind the play and at the line of scrimmage somewhere as Kaler finds his favorite target, number 14. And, again, I don't know why the secret is there, why somebody can't find big 6'3" number 14, because that is his favorite target.
Yeah, Kaler to Greer, and Greer just runs a flag route inside.
And there I see Kaler for the first time take a 2-step drop, and there he is, 15 yards down the field, number 14.
You got 5 Hawks there, but they're giving lots of cushion. They're playing behind the receivers instead of in front. Greer made that nice leaping catch in the first half, and they were playing in front. Now that they're playing behind, Kaler with his strong arm is just firing in the completion for Greer to catch and run.
I would think one of these defensive backs would just be hungry for one of these INTs, because he's laying it out there. There's nothing fancy. Again, he's got a strong arm. He's got some strong legs as he's running the ball here, and should have taken a loss on that play. Spins away from, looks like Green, and is able to make positive yardage out of that and gets about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, Kaler doesn't run a whole bunch. I mean, he had the rushing touchdown for 1 yard and the other rushing touchdown when it was pretty easy. But he makes some nice moves here right past Green.
And I don't know who that was.
Files eventually brings him down, but not before he spins ahead for 7. 10, actually.
Green had him by the shirt for a good 2-3 yard loss, and I couldn't pick up who that was. The second Hawk in there just totally missed him and fanned on it, and he gets about 5 or 6 yards. So now there goes Hibbert up through the middle.
That time he's stuffed by the defensive line, Reisner and Sierraville, too slow to get up.
Number 48, Jake Reisner.
Cerebell kind of hobbling a little bit. His brother's going to come in and relieve him. Just needs to stretch his calves out a little bit, but
yeah, that's tough. He's going both ways, offensive line, defensive line. Like I said, there's some grinding going on out there. There's some big hitting, big pushing on these guys. As the Comets are taking quite a long time here in the huddle as they break quickly and get up to the line of scrimmage as they see the clock down to about 7 seconds for the play clock as Kaler takes it in the shotgun, fakes the pitch that time and takes off running for a couple of yards, but just enough to get another first down.
You see Kaler with the fake pitch there, and everyone's expecting Hibbett to get the ball, so the whole defensive line is going left, and Kaler keeps it and runs off the right guard, easily gets the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Comets, just over 9 minutes left in the game, 14-point lead and driving.
Kaler in the back, or in the shotgun again, a little bit of motion, sets up the H-back. Doesn't take a step at all again, and there it is, man. I just don't get it, Ken. I'm just like, he gets the ball, and it's gone. And the DBs just are not reacting at all or adjusting to anything here tonight. Look, he takes the ball, fakes it, takes one step, and it's gone. And there's number 14 leading the defender in front.
Yeah, Noah Troutman makes the tackle as soon as Greer catches the ball, but
was from behind.
It's a pretty easy throw and catch.
Yeah. And that puts them down into the red zone, and they're knocking on the door at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Last couple times Kaler has kept it when they've been in this position. Last time we saw this, he kept it and ran straight forward for the easy touchdown.
He was under center this time, hands it off to, I think that's Hibbert again. And he's going to get a couple.
Hawks are going to tackle him just short at the 2-yard line. Call it 1.5, but it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2. 6 minutes left for the Comets.
Second down.
And now that we're into the 4th quarter and it's running, Hawks have got to do something to keep them out of the end zone here, because 3, it makes it still reachable. 7 makes it really hard.
Comets back to their spread offense with 2 receivers wide, single-man backfield.
Kaler underneath center, rolls out, hands it off to Saylor this time. 20, got a big hit there by number, was that 33?
That's Harrison Buckheit on the tackle.
And Buckheit leading the Hawks right now in tackles, and he comes up with a big play as he finds number 20's number and wraps him up. Textbook tackle, and looks like he had Jake right there on his back door, number 48, to help him out.
Comets do have several field goal attempts on the season. They've had 3 different kickers attempt field goals, so it would definitely be a slight victory if the Hawks can hold them to that field goal attempt.
Absolutely, Ken. This is a big 3rd down right here. If the Hawks can keep them out of the end zone, it keeps the game within reach. As
watch the quarterback keeper here.
Kaler in the shotgun, goes right back, turns, and what do you think? Number 14? Yeah, why not? Touchdown.
Yeah, easy little button hook there. Greer goes in the end zone and circles back to the ball. Kaler finds him here. We're going to watch Kaler fake handoff to
1-step drop, turns and throws.
And Greer sure-handed makes his 26th catch on the season, I believe. 27, somewhere around there.
Nothing fancy there. Just a little pitch and catch like in the backyard, and these 2 got it down, and that's 7 more points for the Comets. And the student section over in Mason likes that in their camos. The few that are here, not a ton over there. Being so close, I kind of expected a lot more people traveling over tonight on a nice, great, crisp football night.
I think they're all at the Kings Island haunted trail, whatever they have over there. But Hawks find themselves with a 21-point deficit here.
With 6:56 only left in the game, and when you're running the option, that's not a lot of time to put 21 points up on the board. So it'll be interesting what Coach Haynes pulls out of the playbook here to try to get things moving. But they've dug themselves a big hole, and most of it again. This drive again, a free 15 yards on a play, and lets the Comets move, and then again a couple of pass plays between him and his best friend there. 14, and the next thing you know, they're in the red zone, and the Hawks really needed to hold them there to keep this thing within reach, make it 17-0, and maybe, like you said, to the point that the Comets have used multiple kickers. I'm kind of watching there at halftime. They were having a couple of kickers out there, a lot of warming up on field goals.
A couple 40-yarders that went through the uprights here.
So almost looked like the Comets thought this was going to come down to a field goal at the end, but maybe not now, as they squib kick down through the middle, and number 3 takes it, and he's going to go east and west instead of north and south and not get too far.
A little bit of extracurricular activity on the east sideline between blockers there.
Unfortunately, though, no flags come out on that one. So that's the kind of stuff that's been going all night that the Hawks been getting caught and taking 15 yards on. But nice open field tackle by number 18 there by the Comets on Ethan Evans, and that was Tyler Wilson with the nice open field tackle on the special teams after the squib kick.
Hawks still in their 4 receiver set with a man in motion there, and handoff to Davis again up the middle.
Troutman to Davis, and I think the Comets have adjusted to this now. Ken, they're covering the receivers, or sometimes not, as we saw earlier. Number 7 was over there tapping his helmet, trying to get Troutman's attention that nobody was covering him. But the linebackers seem to be staying home and just staying keyed on Eric, and Eric's doing the best he can. He's still picking up 2 or 3 yards, but you can see there 19, 42, 17 ain't going anywhere.
See, I think you and I are thinking the same way, that maybe this will set something up for down the road. They're predicting the inside handoff, and one of these times you're going to surprise them, and here maybe it is.
There's a throw over to Vogelman. He tries to make a cut, and the Comets come and swarm him after a short gain.
So it is a little gain of 2, but it's the same 2 that Davis may have gotten up the middle.
Yeah. That's got to be a 12 to 18 yard pass there, which is very doable. As we talked about in the first half, the middle of the field is opening up. The Comet safeties will drop back, and their linebackers kind of stay up, and so that zone of 10 to 15, 18, 20 yards is wide open. Now Troutman goes in. Fakes
the
pitch
to Davis, and Davis is going to get enough for the first down. They're going to move the chains after a 2-yard gain. 5.5 minutes and ticking in the 4th.
So the playbook's got to open up. We're going to have to start using Troutman's arm a little bit here to get this ball moving, and then with a small dose of Eric Davis maybe breaking some big ones. But with this clock rolling and the option, got to start scoring a little bit quicker. And again, no sense of urgency at all to the line of scrimmage. Late in the 4th quarter here, they need to be saving as much time as they can. And Hawks is doing their thing like it's a quarter number 2 here, as Troutman goes to drop back and someone sneaks underneath and grabs him by the ankles.
Looked like an ankle tackle there. Troutman looking to pass the ball. We're going to see this again here as he drops back, and 52.
Yeah, he tried
on the tackle there. Aaron speared him.
He tried to
at the ankle.
He tried to duck like he was going to hand it to Davis and sneak out of there, and the Comets didn't buy it and just lunged forward and grabbed the hold of his ankle. So
2nd and 14, different set for the Hawks. 3 receivers on one side, 1 on the other, and Troutman's going to scramble and keep it. He's got a little bit of room, and he's brought down from behind after a gain of 4.
Troutman with the keeper.
And he's going to make this 3rd and manageable, though. 3rd and 9 maybe. As Troutman goes back.
Didn't see his receiver open there, so he tucked it down, looked upfield again, scrambles off to the side, and salvaged what he could off of that.
Drugged down from behind by big number 84, McManus.
So 3rd and 9 for the Hawks, just over their own 30.
Troutman's in the shotgun looks, throws a bullet low, and
caught.
Haven't seen a signal yet. And
looks like a catch.
Did Andy scoop that up? we're going to see it on the replay. He does play baseball, so he's
played that like a shortstop,
yeah,
making
he's
a
used
diving catch up the middle.
He's used
Good
to the hot
hands.
hand. Yeah, there he goes. Vogelman hands on to that. Good job, Andy. That baseball coming in hand.
So 4th and 1. We'll see if Davis or Troutman can pick up the first down here. 3 minutes and ticking left in the 4th quarter. It's going to go to Davis, and he plunges forward for the first down.
And that'll move the chains.
Clock stop
So
momentarily.
again, we're seeing a replay here where Davis goes forward, takes a big hit, but Eric always spins, got those legs moving, and
Hawks are going to huddle up here instead of having the play ready.
Able to fall forward for the first down. But going back to that last pass play that Vogelman was able to scoop up, you know, great play on him, but again, you know, I don't know what the play calling where they only have Andy going 8 yards when he needs to be out 12, 18 yards down and
another
keep
pass
moving these chains.
That falls to the ground there, but Troutman does a good job scrambling around, tries to find Reap. Does a good job avoiding the sack here. Davis up front blocking. Good protection by the Hawks line.
Yep.
And see Aiden throw, take the hit, and just skips in there in front of Reap. Momentarily stops the clock with 2:39 left in the game.
So Reap right about at that 10-yard level, right, on his route. And everybody else was way downfield like we saw in the first quarter, these super long routes as Troutman hands off to Davis, and he gets wrapped up well and somehow squirms forward for a couple.
Eric Davis has to be sore after each of these games with the amount of carries that he has. You know, Hawks teams are typically like that for years and years where they have their fullback take the brunt of it.
Look at 51's got him stretched out, and he's still just bucking like a Bronco forward and gets a little bit out of that and moves the stick just a little bit, so it's 3rd and 7.
2 minutes left. Much respect for Davis on that. I mean, hit after hit after hit. Hawks again,
So
4 wide, 3 receivers to the north, 1 to the south. Troutman back to pass.
Does a quick throw. Number 6 picks it up, turns, makes a move. Gets by 1. Oh, that's a horse collar.
Reap tackle down from behind by number 19, Weston Simmons.
I think he's going to get called for a horse collar, and finally the Hawks are going to get advantage 15 more. Push this down the field a little closer.
Certainly given the Mason Comets their share of 15 plus, so it's about time they get the
So
extra 15.
if we got a replay of that,
on.
that was a nice little pitch and catch between Troutman and Reap, and then Reap makes one move and makes a guy miss him. There it is. The horse collar is called.
So we're going to watch this again here. Troutman stays in the pocket, drops back. Good, strong throw to Reap. Draven Files with a nice block, allowing Reap to get the extra 5 plus the extra 15 tacked on there. So
great camera work by our guys. We haven't given them too much credit tonight. They always give us good shots. And boys had that one zoomed in well on the horse collar. So the Hawks are going to set up at their 20-yard line. Troutman in the shotgun. There's a quick throw and going right back to Reap.
That's the play they were successful on against Hamilton, where they had 2 touchdown passes of about this distance and just in front of the outstretched arms of Reap.
I think you mentioned that earlier, right? They only had 2 completions in that game, and they were both for touchdowns, and I think there was a total of 40 yards on those 2 completions. So if they could turn that up right now, that'd be really nice, but with only $1.48 left, not going to help too much in the cause here, but I would like to see that goose egg change to a 7 here if Troutman can pick up a first down and keep these chains moving. He's got to have somebody coming in his face. He throws one down. And did he get a touchdown? Yeah, all right. Touchdown, Hawks.
Evans with the catch. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that was Draven
Files.
So that's the first offensive touchdown of the season here at the Hawks Nest.
Yes. So big moment there is a touchdown by the first string team. As you get to see the replay here, Troutman just rolls, fires one. And from our vantage point, we couldn't tell if 33 got a hold of that.
Hawks without a place kicker today. So
looked like number 13 was in there trying that PAT.
Matt Herr. I'm sorry.
Matt
he
Herr.
is available.
And I don't know.
See who does the kickoff duties here after the touchdown with the onside potential attempt.
I couldn't tell if there was anything wrong with the snap or hold. Troutman is the holder, so you'd think the hold would be good. He has the QB good hands. It went shanked wide to the right. So I couldn't tell from where we were if there was a bad snap or a bad hold, but
I believe Austin's out there.
Yep, there's big number 72.
Kick again. Is the soccer coach in attendance? Is he watching?
And maybe, right? You'd think you could find a soccer kid in a school this size that can kick a ball, but
I think the soccer coach may be recruiting Austin here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Might be a triple sporter before he leaves here. Football, basketball, and soccer. I mean, soccer does play on a different night, so, why not?
Austin heading to the Ohio State University next year. Not as a kicker, but as an offensive
Not as
lineman.
a kicker. Though we keep saying, Coach Dave, watch, He's had a couple of great punts this season, and now all of a sudden he's doing kickoff duty, so.
We'll see if he's capable of the onside kick. See if we get a quick turning kick. Nope. I always like that quick turning kick.
Mason's going to call a timeout here as they saw the Hawks lining up, seeing big 72 out there, teeing the ball up. I don't know what I would do on the other side of the field if I saw 72 out there as the kicker.
Stay out of the way.
Yeah. Like you said, I kind of wanted to see that fake punt, right, and let him and run, because I'm telling you, man, when the diesel gets moving, I've seen it in lacrosse, you do not want to get in front of that. And that was many years ago. He was a lot smaller back then than he is now. So there's the Mason Comets huddled up in the Hawks before this kickoff, as it's 21-6. And we didn't see the light show. They're supposed to have the new lights going on the kickoff or on the touchdowns. That took us by surprise the first night.
Somebody's asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, somebody who didn't have their hand on the switch. As you said, it doesn't come often here at home. So, but 21-6 nonetheless with minute 43. And
Hawks traveling to Sycamore next week. And, rather than getting shut out at home against Mason, you go into Sycamore with a little positive note here, being able to get in the end zone via the pass play as opposed to the run play.
Well, they got plenty of things to watch on film tomorrow morning, that's for sure, before they all get snazzied up to go out to homecoming, which I believe is right here on the field tomorrow night.
Be a beautiful night for
outdoor homecoming dance, so a little different.
That tradition started in 2019, I believe, when the power went out.
Austin with the boot gets a big bounce, and
good hands by Mason, and Hawks are going to give him another 15 on a late hit.
Somebody's going to get 15. Is this side judge is just likes his flag a lot here in front of the East.
Big 76. Don't have a number here for Mason, but on the recovery on the hands team, he's a big fella for the hands team.
That is a big fella on the hands team.
But yeah, Dave, the power went out in 2019. I believe your daughter was a senior, my daughter was a senior, and they had to makeshift homecoming on the field because there was no power in the entire community.
Yep.
I don't think it was a rainstorm. It just kind of happened, and the police and the fire came in and hung lights from their big ladders to shine on the field here with the generators. Here's the kick again, and big 76
gets it, falls down.
Oh, that's going to be on
That's going to be on
Mason.
20. It's going to be on Mason. And
Nick Sailors was just blocking there, but ball behind him, but probably a moot point at this time. Hawks with 3 timeouts. I don't imagine they'll use them, but Mason's going to have to snap the ball 3 times and need the ball. Maybe they'll make
I don't know.
Mason
We'll see
run
here.
some plays. I would hope so.
Minute 43. I kind of got the feeling that Mason isn't just going to take a victory formation. I think they got 2 wide at the top there, and I think they're going to run this or throw this.
Got a couple new players there on the Hawks defense.
As Kaler goes underneath center, snaps it, hands it off. Big hole up the middle there. Is that Hibbert?
Yeah, it's going to be enough for the first down, I believe, or just half a yard short. Minute
Going to
30
be
left.
just shy. Gets 9 yards on that.
Fans, please note
Hawks
that per
electing not to
GMC
take a
bylaws,
timeout.
both fans or
As
students
number
are permitted on the
66,
field at any time
who's
before,
new in there for the
during,
Hawks,
or
comes up
following
with
the
that
contest.
tackle.
Thank you for your cooperation
Jake
in this matter.
Ramo, sophomore. And Dave, Hawks not taking a timeout. Guess they sensed being down 15.
Why use them when you can take them home with you, right? So Kaler gets in there underneath the center. Going to go forward to get the first down. He's going to get that and a few more. As you mentioned there, yeah, a lot of different numbers out there right now for the Hawks. I see 66, 54 is in there. Evan Bradford, number 4. Kalen Warren I see in there. So looks like the Hawks have put the second team in on D here, give them a few snaps and a few looks.
Yep, 2 snaps remaining, and I would imagine Mason will be in victory formation
I
here.
think they're going to go here as I see somebody go way back.
Got 11, Zachary Adeletta in the game there, but
Kaler's up underneath center. He's going to just step back, take a knee.
That
That might have been his biggest drop back of the night. But all in a victory nonetheless, as the Comets are happy on their side. The Hawks come up on the losing end here at homecoming night with the homecoming court at the beginning. Mason Comets 21, Lakota East Thunderhawks 6.